the investigations, which one of them was done by 2 committees.
Standard Gauge Railway.
Yes. Yes.
Parliament provides where an issue is cross-cutting. Then it provides a joint sitting of 2 committees.
But that was not joint.
Yes.
That was separate and different.
Yes, but I think that question, and I'm sure my friend Jacoy will agree with me. Now that ball is in the hands of the Speaker and the Clerk of the National Assembly. From where we sit, we have membership in the committees, but the day-to-day running of committees is run through a directorate of committees in Parliament, a whole department. So when questions are sent to David from my committee, and another questions are set, same questions are set to David, but from another committee led by Jacoyo, it is prudent for the Speaker and the Clerk and the Director to say, no, you either do a joint, but the Speaker made, that was a challenge. He made a communication last Thursday, and I'm sure that will never happen again.
What was the communication? The
communication was there was an acrimony between committee chairs that this is my domain, I need to investigate this, Public Investment Committee should not do this, Departmental Committee should not do this. So we had a problem, and one time Jacoyo said on the floor, and I agreed with him, that it depends on the investigative
capabilities.
No, agenda. That is what is making guys
yes.
the profile of a particular agenda. So the Speaker gave us serious communication on overlapping, on wastage, on even committee sittings, that you cannot come and sit and just sign and leave, you know. And quorum issues.
I'm curious to hear from on the minority side about this issue of accountability and holding government to account in view of the fact that now things have to come to the committees, that is where the ones which hold the meetings with the cabinet secretaries and so forth. Are you succeeding in really performing your job as, opposition checking government?
No, I agree with you that we are not succeeding. I think that's where you're going. What a majority leader has not said quite plainly is that there is corruption. Yeah. And it's creeping back, and that's what I said 2 weeks ago on the floor of the House.
Creeping back? Did it ever
I think
go?
In a much bigger way, and reincarnated in younger people. and that is a shameful thing. I can tell you, as somebody who has been in Parliament for over 10 years, that it was never like that.
How does it manifest itself?
It manifests itself in the so-called committees, for example. When you see one chair being aggressing to investigate alone, like the majority leader has said, that when the issues are cross-cutting, you need to put together the concerned committees. But what seems to be coming up, and that is what the Speaker was trying to clarify, is that you have members of Parliament who are in committees reading an article in the paper and summoning the minister. They do it in such a hurry that if you see it, you see that there is something beyond that.
They are doing like ambulance chasing.
Exactly. Actually, rent seeking.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is the word I used.
Rent
seeking.
Okay.
And we thought as House leadership to talk to it, because most members are oblivious or ignorant of the effects of that kind of behavior of Parliament. You know, the fact that Parliament should basically check the government does not mean Parliament should stop the working of government. We all have a duty to facilitate the workings of Parliament. Now, if you have one cabinet secretary being summoned by 5 committees in 1 week, I mean, to me, it's away from the job and the delivery we expect from that ministry. But we are at a point where one cabinet secretary comes to Parliament in the morning to see another committee, in the afternoon to see another committee on the same issue. that we have a duty to protect the government from, because we are trying to set up systems. It's a new thing for all of us. The committees and members of parliament also owe a duty to this country. Ignorance actually is never a defense to anything.
Yeah, but
No, let's go pursue this corruption business.
Yes.
When a chairman of a committee sees something in the newspaper and summons the cabinet secretary, how does the corruption come in there?
I think...
Can you explain how?
Yeah,
does
if I
that
come
happen?
in, you know, corruption is an animal that pervades in all institutions, from where I sit. I mean, in the executive, in the judiciary, and in parliament. Let me speak for parliament. The standing orders are very, very clear. Even today, if you want to summon David, it says minimum 7 days. But you'll find that David is here in the morning, appearing before the transport committee, and in the afternoon, and when you ask, they will tell you, no, I spoke to David and he said he's available. But more fundamentally, and which I think members of parliament, most of them are not aware, is that even for you to stop the executive from doing a function, you must do it through a resolution of the whole house, a plenary. That even today, if you are investigating an institution X, for example, the standard gauge railway, until the Public Investment Committee brings a report to the House, and we agree and adopt it through a vote, is when that standard gauge railway can be stopped. As they're investigating, they can't even stop. But the members of parliament, well, because of other interests, they want the clerk to write a letter to institution X and say, do not go. So these are the serious challenges. But from where I sit, I believe, from where I sit, there might be the personal interest. But again, members of parliament, I'm sure if you guys have seen, if you have seen, the core business of parliament is legislation, bills.
Okay, we're coming to that.
Explain the corruption.
If I finish, when we are dealing even with the bills you have seen, you rarely see hardly more than 40 or 20 members of parliament. That shows there are hardly only 20 people who read that bill out of the 349.
Okay, we'll come to the legislation itself, but the corruption.
Let me just say this.
Yes.
When stick for a moment with the standard gauge railway.
Yes.
Members of parliament have even gone to China. They have even gone to China. You know, if I was the ethics and anti-corruption, I would follow that thing with a tooth comb. What would an investigative committee go to China, an oversight committee, go to China to do with the person they are investigating? This is all over the media.
No. I think
just a minute.
To correct that.
Well, you heard you say, let him finish, and then you can jump in.
Yeah. When first of all, as a nation, we must accept that this corruption is a vice that is so rampant, and Parliament truly must take the lead. When you are investigating, if I am investigating you, and I'm a police officer, why would I be in a restaurant eating with you? That to me is my thought process.
Okay, but you're making allegations against the committee because you're suggesting that they went to China to fraternize with the corporation that they were investigating. And we don't know that yet. We don't have the members of that committee here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
let him continue.
That is what I am saying. You know, woodwork, I'm probably known for somebody who rarely minces his words. The mere impression that I am investigating you and I'm having dinner with you, what is the open eye supposed to think? What we are saying, and I think this is what my majority leader was trying to say.
Why don't we get to the facts?
No,
what happened?
Before you go there.
Drop the bombshell. What happened? Because this becomes...
No, he's already said so.
Yeah, I've already said. It will not be me to do that. All I am saying, so that we don't come here to besmirch our colleagues.
Yes.
We are here.
The point is something unethical about
we want our
So you made that point. Thank you.
Okay. I think, as my colleague has said, we also sit here. We represent our colleagues, and I mean, I don't think the committee, and that's the Committee of Transport, went to China on the corporation that was dealing with the standard gauge railway. I mean, the report is there. They went to China on a different mission. I want to make it very, very clear.
What other mission? They went there to investigate the standard gauge railway,
I mean,
and they find out the company's capability. That's what they have said.
Yes, if you allow me, and I can provide.
Please.
I can provide it. I mean,
What did they go to do?
And they went on. I mean, there were a number of missions that committees go to different countries.
No, we understand all
Yes,
of that.
today
But what do they go to China
today they're
for?
in Brazil on a study tour.
But you can't deny without clarifying or presenting the fact.
Yeah.
So it's not true that they went
No,
to
let me.
fraternize. What did they go to do?
No, let me tell you. I mean, you know, I cannot speak for one and every committee what they do out, but I can confirm.
Yes.
I can confirm. I mean,
In this particular one.
as you have said it.
Yes.
I mean, I stand for facts and figures.
Yes.
That the trip they made to China before even the standard gauge railway controversy came had nothing to do with that cooperation.
So what was it about?
But
If you know that it wasn't about the standard gauge railway.
I'm telling you from now the data.
But they have come and said.
You know, I can't be having coffee here and you
say
say that's not coffee.
No.
And you can't tell me whether it's tea or what it is.
David,
haven't they said they went and found out that the China bridge can do?
David,
they have done railway there.
David,
they have commented about it.
David,
yes.
Where a committee of parliament, in my opinion, cannot go and do is to go to a country, to another corporation, to do due diligence. They cannot do, because due diligence is an element of a procurement process.
Yes.
But even before we reach there, and I'm sure my colleague will agree with me, and I'm sure that committee is watching me. You know, it's good to speak on facts and
But you're not clarifying the matter. You're
the
muddying the
problem
waters.
Well, I'm not muddying the waters.
Yes, you are muddying the waters because you could
look,
clearly tell us.
Today, if you ask me, Duale, tell us, there are 10 committees that went to various parts of the world.
Just tell us about that one.
But this one, I can tell you.
So what did they go to do in China?
No,
it's simple.
let me tell you. Not only once. They went to China 2-3 times.
Okay, what did they go to do?
On different other aspects within their mandate, on the infrastructure. But I can tell you they never went to study the standard gauge railway.
Now that doesn't sell.
If you want me to come back here with a report of that trip, I am ready to provide not only to you, to the whole country.
So what you're saying is you don't have the facts of that trip at your fingertips. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
What did I say? What did I say?
The details, I don't have it.
You don't have
but
the details.
It was not
Can I get a
Okay,
can I
fine.
get a
All right,
bite
thank
of
you.
this?
Yes.
What I said, I have not accused these people of any graft. But what I said, the fact that you are investigating a Chinese contract on a Chinese company, and you are going to China, and you didn't go for that, needs an answer. And when you come back and say they have the capability, which is, you see, these are two committees. One is agreeing, one is disagreeing. And I want to, my leader, because Kenyans are watching us.
But
Just let me
one is agreeing. You know, that is a serious statement. One has agreed,
No,
the other
no,
one is yet to table the report.
Yes,
so
yes.
we don't know what they're going to say.
No, because I'm a member of parliament. I walk the corridors.
So already you know the recommendation of that committee?
No, I don't know. But
but why you
what
say
they're
one
saying,
agrees and one
what they're
disagrees?
saying, one is saying the facts that are being said, being given by one committee don't seem right. Why don't you wait for this other investigation? So the other one says no. Gives the project a clean bill of health. This other one says there's a trail of something we are chasing. There's something amiss. Really. You know, let us stop every time looking at Kenyans in the eye to deceive them about corrupt deals, because it is their money. It is not our money. Yeah.
I want to pursue that matter and ask you this. When a cabinet secretary appears before a committee,
Yes.
and they're supposed to have done whatever after they read the newspapers, are the cabinet secretary supposed now therefore to bribe the committees?
No, but I can tell you it has happened. I've been in parliament over 10 years. You know, it'd be wrong to come here. When you see a committee of parliament spending taxpayers' money and tabling a report that does not, even a 10-year-old kid will tell you this report is not satisfactory, what do you think happened?
Okay, let's look at, let's move from the standard gauge railway and come to the Westgate report, which went to the House and all of you trashed it. What transpired? Everybody said this report did not make any recommendations on anything, no...
Actually, you're still debating it, aren't you?
No. Is it still in the House?
No,
It's thrown out.
It will be thrown out. And David, let me tell you, and he will agree with me, 5 months before this report, the day this report was tabled somewhere in October last year.
December
Last year.
Yes.
I said it in the House Business Committee, that even the language, the report writing itself, I challenged the Speaker and the clerk, that it's substandard, even the language. But more fundamentally, it was a report of Parliament, not for government, it's a report of Parliament.
Yes.
From where I sit, I expected serious, implementable recommendation, because we lost close to 68 people and many were maimed and injured. But when you come with a report, and that's why the 2 chairs are from my coalition. And out of the 58 members of that joint committee, I think 36 are from my coalition. But when the report came, if you look at the recommendations,
I've got them here.
Of the recommendation, and I'll give you only 3 out of the many that were not in tandem with my own conscience as the member of Parliament for Garissa Township, not even a leader of majority, was when you say close the Dab refugee camp and Kakuma.
Yes.
That is not visible under the Vienna Convention. It's not visible. What do you say that tell the mobile providers to provide blah blah blah? The law is already there. We passed it in last Parliament. They're doing it. And that's why even the few guys who have been arrested after Westgate, it's through the mobile phones tracing which was done. So what are you telling? But more fundamentally, the first recommendation was that the Kenya government should fight Al-Shabaab. Give me a break. My 4-year-old son knows that the whole world is fighting Al-Shabaab. Then the other recommendation was that Kenya should open an embassy in Somalia. How is that?
Now,
so
when you listen to such recommendations by a committee that you say Parliament,
by 2 committees,
and these are
independent,
and these are committee
now, and
that
then we have
belongs
allegations
from both sides of the coalition. Brilliant lawmakers like Ababu Namwamba, Jalmas Otieno, are members of those committee.
So what went wrong?
He is a member of that committee.
So what went wrong?
I will tell you. I will tell you, and just to, because you have mentioned Honorable Ababu by name, Ababu refused to sign that report on record. The day we invited...
Did you refuse to sign it as well?
I refused to go to those meetings. The day the 2 chairs appeared on television.
Did you sign?
No, how would I sign something so crooked? The thing is said, they said when I saw the 2 chairs go on to a press conference, or call a press conference, to exonerate KDF. And then the committee was invited by KDF to DOD. I said, I can't sit in that committee.
Oh, now we know.
Now we know. Just a minute.
Now we know.
Just a minute.
If you allow me.
Let me finish. When I saw that, so I asked, what are we going to do there? For a familiarization tour.
Of DOD.
I'm telling you, we were investigating one of the biggest criminal activities ever to have faced our country from terrorists. And the people who conspicuously, their names are missing from the recommendations, were supposed to have lunch with us at DOD. I can tell you that is wrong. I can tell you, and that day, if you go look at the attendance record, I never attended a single meeting, because I said, if everybody is going, at least let me stay so that my conscience does not haunt me.
Mr. Duale?
If I was a member of that committee, first I think I have the moral obligation to attend that. So by not attending that committee, you, in my opinion, you failed the Kenyans, because the standing orders provide that you can record your dissent and the reasons, and even argue on the floor that I have. So up to today, I have not seen in that report.
Or even withdraw from the committee.
Actually,
or even withdraw. I have not seen any decent opinion from my very good friend, the leader of the minorities. That's number one. Number two, if he saw there was something wrong, he leads a troop. He leads about 11, 12 members, 24 members in the joint committee from the Code Coalition. He should have withdrawn his troops, and that could have become a serious matter nationally, a national debate.
Right.
Yes.
That the Code Coalition has withdrawn from the investigation on Westgate, which never happened.
No, but if you
Let me
look-
finish. Let me finish. Thirdly, and that is if I was a member of, I'm the only one who's not a member of any committee in Parliament. Thirdly, I'm the only person we had who never decided to sign. If my memory serves well, is Honorable Babu Namamba. I'm not out of that. But more fundamentally, if you didn't withdraw, if you didn't record your dissent, if you didn't withdraw your troops from that committee, and more fundamentally, if you didn't, because I have not seen any amendment from Honorable Jacoyo Midio, because on the debate of the report, you can still bring an amendment and bring Honorable Duale, and David Makali to be that. So what happened was, and from where I sit, I'll be judged on the performance of Aden Duale as the leader of majority.
Okay.
And the clerk and parliament. In fact, if that report was done in a very shoddy way, it's not only the membership of that committee, but it looks also very bad on the entire
House.
directorate
Okay.
and the
So,
House.
Mr. Midiwo, why did you not withdraw CORD from it? Why did you not register your dissent?
First of all, that is sheer misrepresentation. Because I don't have that power. Members of parliament and committees, because they belong to a party, it is just the formula by which, the vehicle by which they get to committees. We are a member of parliament, elected and paid over 800,000 shillings a month to use your brains and conscience. Once you go there, like Ababu withdrew, we refused to sign the thing. Like Ken Obura refused to sign the thing. Those are code. But fundamentally,
Did you mobilize CORD MPs
yes,
to
we
refuse
even
to
tried.
sign?
We even asked Gladys Wanga she tried.
Just a minute.
Just a minute.
Yes, Mr. Midiwo.
She tried to make an amendment for the report to implicate certain quarters of the security agencies. That report was rejected by the Speaker. That amendment by the Speaker of National Assembly.
On the floor of the House? Or
No,
back
when she took the amendment, the day before the debate.
So it didn't make it to the floor?
Yeah, it didn't make it to the floor. It was blocked. And let me just tell you, this is true, factual, but now let me tell you, I was a member of the committee, and I've declared that I refused to attend when I saw the committee leadership doing the wrong thing. And I went to the one committee, and I'm the one who raised it. I told them, what I have seen you do is wrong. You see, what he's saying he doesn't know. He doesn't know because he was not sitting in the committee. And now I'm informing him. I went to the committee, and I said, I disagree, and I've never seen an investigation in progress, and the leadership going to
Fraternizing.
going to give the views of the committee, or give their views on behalf of the committee. Now, we, having gotten there, the report was bad. But even the sheer imagination that he knew in December that the report was bad, being led by an overwhelming majority of his people, and never voiced, never said anything to allow it. Who would it look bad? The Jubilee government has a responsibility over security agencies, that you want to use parliament to sanitize them. To sanitize, and that is what the attempt was.
Let him finish, and then you can respond, and then we'll take a break.
We are an oversight. We have oversight over parliament. And one thing which is factual, the so-called tyranny of numbers. Even if CORD withdrew, we are only making a political statement. They would still end up the same. What he should have said, that the report was bad, he noticed it was bad, but he told his people to correct it. He never did.
Mr. Duale.
You know, let me be very candid and very factual. Number one, a report of parliament, by procedure, by standing order, is not a property of the leader of majority. A report of a committee of parliament is a property of the plenary. So it's the plenary to decide whether to reject it or to approve it. So whether it comes, so the committee itself, the composition is outside the purview of the office of the Leader of Majority.
Yes.
The Leader of Majority deals with, on the floor of the House, government agendas and any other motion that is coalition approved motion. That's number one. Number two, the so-called tyranny of numbers. In 1992, KANU had majority, but we had a minority in the opposition. And please get me right, the performance was above board. 1992. So the tyranny of numbers to the Kenyan multi-party politics didn't start with this parliament. It started in 1992, in 1997. And if somebody can assess 1992 and 1997 parliament, the opposition, you will see the difference. But more fundamentally, for me, when I read the report, and it's a report of parliament, I can't even influence my members, my chair, because the moment you become a chair of a committee of parliament. You don't become a chair of a Jubilee coalition. So I can't. And
but we know that in practice,
yes,
that's not the case. I mean, that is closing our eyes.
Let me finish, because I want us to have a very
but that is misleading, because that is on the
no, I'm coming
theoretical
to
terms.
No,
in
I'm
practical
coming to
terms,
it.
Those things count.
I'm coming to it.
Yeah.
So the chair is one person, and even the membership. So what do you do in a report where you feel is not to the expectation of the nation? It's procedures provided in the standing orders that, number one, you dissent. And in the case of Public Accounts Committee, in fact, the standing orders allows you to submit a dissenting opinion. But in other committees, in the report, and I'm sure you guys can get it,
they note.
You note that the following people concurred, the following members did not. Today, as we speak, and I can provide that report.
Actually, I read it, and there's no dissenting.
And out of the 24 membership from the, or 22 membership from the Code Coalition, the only person who has dissented in that report is one Ababu Namwamba. Secondly, if the Code Coalition, if you cannot win the, let's say for example, it's not the first time, if you cannot win and the so-called tyranny, that report was never discussed in the many parliamentary PG of the Code Coalition.
Okay.
We
will
agree.
Actually, just a minute. He will finish. No, David, he will finish, and then we'll go on a break.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's nowhere up to today where that report, which me as the Leader of Majority, when it came to the floor, if it was a Jubilee, report, and Jubilee was doing monkey business, the answer will prove me right. I was very lethal on my contribution to that report. But I want to defend the Speaker. When Gladys Wanga, and you know it's good to say, when Gladys Wanga brought the amendment to the Speaker, when he was on the chair, the standing orders are very clear. The Speaker says, you are time banned.
How did you know that?
No. I was there. Let me tell you, Gladys herself came to me. Let me finish. You allow me.
Okay.
The Speaker told her, you are time banned. And he knows it. Tomorrow, if we are going to discuss a bill or a report, and you want to bring an amendment, you need to file your amendment 24 hours. So what did Gladys do? Gladys went, and I have her amendment, better than even the whole committee. Gladys went to room 7. She recorded her amendments, ready for the report to reach the second day. Well, within that, she was within the provision. But as the report was on, the anti-report from both sides of the coalition, and I'm so happy, including myself, we realized that this was a waste of time. So what am I coming to? What am I coming to? Because tomorrow I might not be the Leader of Majority. I might be in the position in the next parliament.
You will be.
No. Am I? No. I mean,
finish. I'll ask you to wind up because we're going to take a break.
It is very, very fast. The opposition should be very candid, very honest, very fair to the people of Kenya. They can never, and they will never, hide under this big animal tyranny of numbers. There are a number of issues that you can raise on the floor of the House.
All right, thank you.
And make your point very clear.
Okay, so you've made that point, and we'll take a break now. This is Cheche, live on Citizen TV. We're assessing the National Assembly's performance 1 year on with the Honorable MPs, Aden Duale and Jakayo Midio, both of them majority and deputy minority leader. For your questions for them are welcome on our SMS number, which is 22422, or our Twitter handle, which is @Cheche_TV.